I had a really bad habit of using my phone when I was in bed and supposed to be sleeping. And it turns out that it's much more common than I would ever expect. As one study suggests, up to 90% of people use their phones past their bedtime. So probably most of the people watching the video have the same problem as me. For me, using my phone in a dark room in bed would damage my eyesight and also make me feel like a slug in the morning. But now, after a few months, the problem is largely fixed. So how did I do it, and how can you break a bad habit you struggle with? Let's start our journey in June of this year. I had probably tried to quit using my phone past the bedtime way earlier, but the relevant story starts here. I had a pretty simple plan to quit my bad habits. Each night I would just not use my phone, and if I was successful I would mark a day in the calendar. And by looking in the calendar and seeing every single day in which I succeeded in not using my phone, I would be more and more motivated not to use it. As it is probably expected, it did not work at all. I would be successful in following my habit every other day or even every third day, but that wasn't what I was looking for. The problem was that using my phone at night was just so damn tempting. Even on days in which I would read a book before going to sleep, I would want to use my phone as soon as I laid in my bed, and conveniently my phone would always be somewhere close to me. After months of beating my head into the wall trying to stop using my phone, I decided to try a different approach. Each night, somewhere around an hour before going to sleep, I would put my headphones in a different room, and surprisingly it worked delightfully. The thing which I was tracking was if I put the headphones away, which meant that I could go back to the other room, take them, and still watch YouTube in my bed. But because it was harder to use my phone rather than not to use it, I would just go to bed most of the time. Though not to try to paint a over-optimistic view, I would still use my phone on most nights. But because I didn't have headphones, I couldn't watch YouTube. And I don't really use any other social media, so I would put the phone away after 5 or so minutes. It's been 2 months since I started putting my headphones away before going to sleep, and I would consider this experiment to be quite successful. So what can we learn from that? I would say that the most important thing is know how much willpower is needed to do a certain habit. Preferably, we want to lower it as much as we can. We might look at a habit as a lever. The left side represents doing the habit, while the right side represents not doing it. We should focus on making the left side as easy to do as possible and making the right side as hard as possible. But if we cannot use our willpower, then how to achieve that? In my example with the phone, I implemented a very easy to do side habit of putting my headphones away. It was super simple. It didn't require any willpower because I could still watch my phone if I wanted to. I could do it whenever I wanted in the evening, and I would get an instant feedback of marking that day off as a success. Some other time I was struggling with using a certain skin shampoo I wanted to use daily. It was a super easy task that would take maybe 3 minutes, but I just didn't like how I had to go to the bathroom, use it, wash my face, towel it, etc, etc. So one day I just put in the shower. Now every day while I'm showering I just put it in my face as a first thing, and I don't even have to track that. It's been a few months and I still do it pretty much unconsciously. So if you are struggling with keeping a certain habit, just realize that it is rarely a problem with you, and in 99% of cases with the environment or the plan you have. If you want to find ways to make your good habits easier and bad ones harder, I would highly encourage you to read Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a great book, extremely practical and very, very delightful to read. And that would be it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.